Welcome back, everyone, to another airline pilot vlog. For those new here, my name is Peter. I'm a Boeing 767 pilot. I'm gonna sound like a broken record because for the third week in a row, that's right, unprecedented, we have a deadhead to, you guessed it, Newark, New Jersey. So I'm already in position, getting paid to be at home. There is nothing better. This hasn't happened in a while. So if it sounds like, oh, he's got the best gig because he's getting paid to be home all the time, it's not the case. But sometimes the bidding just works out. You're able to swap some trips. And this is another week where I start in Newark, meaning the company paid for my deadhead to get here. I bank that money since I don't actually have to get on the plane to travel anywhere since I live here. And the trip ends in this airport, JFK. So again, they'll pay for my ticket the following day when the trip ends to get back from JFK to Memphis. I'm obviously not going there because I'm a commuter. So I bank that money and I can use it for personal and business travel later down the road. So my personal favorite as a commuter, that's the negative, is having to get to work, but sometimes it works in your favor. So it's my third week in a row. It's worked out. I really think you're gonna ask probably in the comments why or how often that happens. We're summertime, so a lot of the senior first officers and captains take their vacation with their families during the summertime. So a lot of trips kind of funnel down to the peasants, to the peons, myself included as a pretty junior guy. So getting lucky, we're taking advantage of it. Got our run-in today, ran some errands, got a couple meetings in, and tomorrow we will Uber to the airport. But I got asked last vlog, hey, apartment tour, so here it is. A very, very quick tour since I live in a one-bedroom apartment in New York City, but we're starting off with the Boeing 767. Welcome, Matt, because, you know, my mom insisted, or AKA Santa, you walk into the lovely, lovely kitchen. I'm flying out tomorrow, just cooked myself a steak dinner, so ignore the dishes and the Trader Joe's bag. Then we got the living room. It's funny, you know, people always say, if you're from New York, wow, you have such a big place. But if you're not from New York and you realize what I pay for it, then you're like, dang, that place is really small. So it's all relative, what you're used to. People are asking about the pilot charts, the airport maps. LaGuardia, Newark, JFK, those are my home airports. I actually make them. So shout out pilotpetefly.com if you want to get yourself a chart or want me to make you a custom airport chart of your liking, just holler. I got some pillows from Santa as well. I got my scooter, been rocking and rolling in this thing for some time now. It's freaking sweet. It's 100 degrees in New York, so the AC has been moving around. And yes, I am the best Mario Kart player on planet Earth. That is a fact. That is not fiction. I challenge anyone, comment below, race, and we will set up a Mario Kart N64 only. I don't do Wii. I don't do PlayStation 19. I'm a millennial. N64 is the GOAT. Fake plant, since I'm never home. This is fake. No bugs. Can't have pets. Can't have plants because they'll all die. Then we just steamed the old flight uniform. We're going with flight. People always ask me what size. I'm a slim XL. I'm 6'4", about 195 pounds. So this is what I rock. All my old uniforms and stuff like that, old epaulets. Got the bathroom. Got to shave because it's go to work time. Yes, I do have a lot of airplane stuff. Don't ask how you know I'm a pilot. Just walk into my bathroom and you'll figure it out. Planes were from Amazon. Let's go. Got this from my mom's friend for Christmas. Thought it was pretty cool. And then you walk into the bedroom. Let's go. People were like, dude, your bed's on the... No, I'm 6'4". So a king bed looks like a twin. So for those commenting, get a bigger bed, or what are you, too poor to afford? No, grow. You should grow. This is the size of my bed. This is what it looks like. But pretty spacious room, not too bad. Old subway charts I snagged from my dad's work office, 1980s. I thought that was pretty cool, so I got those hung. My old employer and the old airplane I used to fly, A320. I think it's an A320, it might be 321. And then the AC is cranking because it is freaking hot. And yeah, that's what a lot of money, or what I consider a lot of money in New York City, gets you. A decent 1-bedroom apartment. So for those asking, there's your New York City tour. Go to bed, wake up tomorrow's at 7 a.m. I think. I gotta be at the airport at like 8:30. It's about a half-hour Uber ride. So as always, you wanna come along for the ride? Let's go do it. I'll see you in Newark Airport tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the airplane 767. We're in Newark, New Jersey, and we just got some grand old news. I was supposed to fly from Newark to Indy with a 4-hour little layover there in Indy before we headed to Oakland, California, but no longer have to do that. So woke up this morning to a crew notification. A crew notification is just kind of what it sounds like. We get dings to our iPad, to our pilot kind of resource center, if you will, and you can't navigate through that website without acknowledging and looking at this crew notification. So it's exactly what I did. Woke up, checked my schedule, and it said, hey, your schedule's been revised. You're no longer going to Indianapolis. You're going Newark direct to Oakland. So the good news, I'd rather just get to where I'm going as soon as possible. It's less flying time. Same pay, by the way, for those wondering. You get paid for the higher amount regardless of what they do to your trip once you're on the trip. But the bad news is it's a 6-hour flight to Oakland from Newark, and I didn't pack lunch because I was expecting to go from here to Indy, have 4 hours to get food, and then go. We will be catered. There's catering on board, already checked. One of the most important things a first officer has to do is check the catering on board, but catering is usually kind of suspect. So that's the pros and cons, but we're feeling good. Got a good night's sleep. Ubered here with that travel bank money. Captain's on his way. We got about an hour or so before departure. So I'm gonna walk around the jet, do my pre-flight inspections, and on our way to Oakland. So with the 767 for flight control check, we are unable to touch the flight controls because, well, I'm 6'4", still pretty high up there. So in flight training, for those who are going into flight training or are currently flight training, you know that you can move your ailerons and your elevator just in the back of the airplane up and down with your hands to check the flight controls to make sure they're moving, they're attached the right way, all that good stuff, all the nuts and bolts are on. Unfortunately, like I said, we can't do that on the 767. So in our flight deck, we have a status page that shows the flight controls and that they're moving properly and have full deflection up and down, left and right, and all that good stuff. So once the airplane's turned on, the engines are running, the hydraulic system, most importantly, is running and operating safely and correctly. The first officer's job is to move the control wheel up and down, back and forth, and we get a digital display to show that the flight controls are in fact moving properly in full deflection. So I'll show you guys that inside the flight deck. Again, unfortunately, I can't show you the actual movement because it doesn't happen until taxi out, in which case I won't have my phone out, but you get the point. That's why we do it kind of on the taxi out and not doing pre-flight, because I can't touch those flight controls. For every flight, we do a flight control test. So as you can see here, you got RUD for rudder, aileron left, aileron right, and L for elevator. So ailerons are what turns the airplane left and right, elevator what make it go up and down, and rudder is what we control on the ground for steering, but more importantly for yaw once we're in flight. So I'll do the flight control check as part of the checklist, and the captain will call for that on our taxi out. The reason I can't do it right now is because we don't have hydraulic system on the airplane. So can't do any of that until the engines are started up. We have hydraulic power. So the flight controls are checked on taxi out, but every single flight, we make sure that the flight controls are free and able to move without any obstructions, and also that they're moving on the system. So we can't test them physically, they're too high up. The 767, I can't reach up and grab the elevator. For those in flight training, when you fly like the 172 or the Piper Cherokee, you can touch your flight controls. On the Boeing 767, unfortunately, they're a little bit too high up. So that's where we check on our status page to make sure they're all good to go. These arrows will move full left, full right for full deflection, Aileron, same thing, up, down, elevator, up, down, and that determines that we're safe to go flying. So I'll move this control wheel and that will display the flight controls moving. Hello from Oakland, California. Landed runway 30. It was a 5-hour and like 36-minute flight. So now I cannot say 3-hour flights are long, because that was an actual long flight. It was my leg, great captain. He let me take the first one, and we're here super early. It's only 12 o'clock local time because we didn't have to go to Indy. So yesterday, we were supposed to, as far as our schedule is concerned, it was supposed to be Newark, Indy with a 4-hour layover, like I was explaining earlier, and then Indy to Oakland. We were supposed to fly some horses from Newark to Indy, but that got scrapped. Like I said, we don't really get all the details. We just do as told, and we were told to fly direct to Oakland. So 5.5 hours later, here we are. Easy departing Newark, wasn't much traffic, which is great. Did the flight controls check, it all worked out, and then pretty much smooth ride here. We're 34,000 feet, burned some fuel off, went up to 36,000 feet, burned some more fuel off, went up to 38,000 feet. So the higher you go, usually the less fuel you burn. Well, the less fuel you burn, but the winds and all that stuff, there's all these different factors, but your weight allows you whether or not you can climb that high. So we were able to get up to 38,000 feet, and then we came down the Oaks arrival, and a couple vectoring around. There's a lot of small planes in the vicinity that we kind of had to vector around for traffic reasons, but we got her done. Landed runway 30. I'm gonna say 8.7 out of 10 landing, and now we got about a 20-hour layover here in Oakland. So gonna change out of the flight uniform. My running has been postponed a little bit because I haven't been feeling great, my legs, my shins, but I did some stretching on the plane, and I'm ready to get after it. So let's go enjoy some Oakland, California. Just finished 4 miles on the run and walked around the little area we're staying at to stretch out a little bit. Went back up to my room, and hate to say it, but I did it. I doom scrolled for about an hour, but sometimes you just gotta let your mind be free and just chill for a second. But now we're at the gym. Not negotiable, folks, for getting the workout in. This gym isn't the greatest of this hotel, but we'll get it done. Back day, so we're gonna do some pull-ups, use some of the dumbbells, and always gonna do some abs to finish off the day. And then dinner time, and we gotta get ready for bed because we got like a 4:30 local time wake up. That's not gonna be fun, but getting the work in, you already know. All right, we're on our Oakland layover. I'm heading to, I think it's called like the public market, something like that. It's similar near my hotel, and it's got like a bunch of different eateries and drink options and things like that. I've been there before, it's really good. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But on my walk there, I just wanna get on, say a little PSA, but I just found out some fantastic news today. I'll share later on in another video. That's not the important part, nor purpose of the PSA is, if there's something that you are really passionate about, care about, that will do good for you, do good for others, go for it. Don't give up. Keep the faith, keep believing, positive thoughts, prayer. It all is legit, it all works. I know you've probably heard it a million times from different people, but it's so true. I got rejected by this program I really wanted to be a part of about 3 years ago. I didn't give up. I kept at it. I didn't get down. Prayed, positive thinking, and lo and behold, today I received the email that I'm in, and proud of that. Not so much proud that I'm in the program, but proud about the fact that I didn't give up and that I went for it. So just a little friendly Triple P, Pilot Pete PSA to anyone out there that might need a little positive upbringing message, that if it's something that you really want and you're passionate about it and it does good for the world, keep trying. I'm telling you, it works. It really works. Keep believing. You got this. Now, it's getting late. I'm hungry. Let's go eat. So I ordered from the Indonesian place. I'm waiting for my food. As I was waiting, this place behind me, Pig and a Pickle Barbecue. I asked them how good the barbecue was. They said it's the best in the Bay. So I obviously had to try. Just got a little brisket with some spicy barbecue and habanero. Habanero sauce is hot as AF. My mouth is on fire, but the brisket is amazing. The spicy barbecue is really good. Kind of regretting not seeing that place first and getting just full on barbecue, but we still have hope for the Indonesian place for the barbecue off the bat. 9.3 out of 10. Brisket is excellent. Now for the main meal from Nusha, we got this Indonesian rice with some chicken skewers, fried egg, and a wafer crisp thingamajig or whatever it is. But looks good. Shall report back. Good morning, beautiful people from the ramp in Oakland, California. Had a great 20-hour layover, got my run in, got my workout in, had some good eats, although that last food place wasn't the best. But we're out here, it's 5:30 in the morning, 8:30 though, body clock time, at least that's what we're telling ourselves, so that we don't feel so tired. Nice and cool in Oakland. It's like freaking 100 degrees everywhere, including New York on July 10th. So it's nice to get a little break here in the Bay Area. We got 4 hours to Memphis, 2 legs today. First one's to Memphis, and then next one is to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then we gotta get a quick workout in somewhere. I think I have like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get anything done in the hub, but we'll do our best. So 767 is getting all loaded up. Next stop, Memphis. 4 hours later, we are here safely in Memphis, Tennessee. It was my leg to monitor. Captain made a nice landing on 3-6 left. I don't think we saw a cloud the entire flight. Smooth, smooth, smooth. The company did slow us down though, so I'll show you guys in a future video, hopefully this trip, a cost index. So cost index, basic terms, is basically how fast or slow we fly. And since we were ahead of schedule, we had tailwinds. The company ACARS'd us, which is the text message to say, hey, bring it back to cost index 0 and fly as slow as pretty much possible to just save fuel. So add a little bit of time, like 10 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but on a 4-hour flight, when you're just trucking along, kind of seems like it takes forever. But we're here, we made it. We got about 2.5 hours on the ground. Got to crush a leg day, so we're going to go to the gym nearby to do that, and then shower, get ready, and we're going to do our run once we get to Fort Lauderdale, because that's our last and final leg of the day. Feeling good though, got some good sleep, ate my lunch on the flight, catering was decent, roast beef I think it was, some sort of meat, but either way, filled me up, feeling good. Let's go get the workout in. Beautiful people from the ramp in Memphis, Tennessee. Still hot, it's still summer. Pre-flight of the 7-6, she is all ready to go. We got a 2-hour flight down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I get asked a lot, hey, do you fly with the same captains all the time? Here's an example of one. I just met the captain in the crew room, and we realized we have flown together, but it was over 2 years ago. So haven't seen him since, haven't flown with him, but he's still in the 7-6 as a captain. 767 FO obviously, so we're getting to do it again down to FLL. I'm gonna be the pilot flying, he let me choose, so I'll fly to FLL, and then he'll fly tomorrow up to Indy, and then I'll finish the trip to Newark. So he was kind to give me my home airport flight. Just over 2 hours, like I said. There's some weather around Jacksonville, shouldn't be too bad. Let's go have a good landing. Hello from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Just checked into the hotel. About to go on a nice run because it's non-negotiable. We'll be running over the causeway and then our way to the beach. We got 5 miles, zero interest, zero motivation. You always ask how you say motivated. Zero motivation to go do that, but non-negotiable. Discipline, people. Discipline over motivation. It's on the list, so we got to go do it. I love walking into a Fort Lauderdale room in the summer when the AC's been off. It's like 80 degrees in here. It's freaking miserable. But back to the flight. It was my leg. Good flight. We were dipping and dodging all the storms pretty much the entire flight. And then when we got to line up like 15-mile final for 10 left, our ramp is right off the runway of 10 left. The plane in front of us got really slow, really fast, and we were overtaking them like crazy. So 10 miles out, tower was like, hey, slow to final approach speed. Well, slowing down in a jet aircraft that's traveling like 240 miles an hour doesn't just slow down like that. There's flaps and gear and speed brakes to help slow it down, but it doesn't happen immediately. Long story short, we were overtaking that plane. We had 2 options: either do a 360 and come back around and land, or just sidestep to the right and land 10 right. So I did that. We chose that option. None of the computer system was set up for that. You don't really have time, so you go revert back to like old school flying, which is autopilot off, speed, auto throttles off, and you just kind of visually land the plane. Those who don't fly jet aircraft are probably like, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. It's just something that we don't do pretty much ever. These jets are very automated. Air traffic control is very pretty much, bang, bang, ILS, instrument landing system. So to click off the autopilot, flight director, and auto throttles and kind of do a sidestep, like I said, it's nothing crazy, it's nothing special, but it was fun for me because you get to revert back to your old, old flying habits and skills where you're just kind of moving the airplane around yourself and doing everything manually. So that was fun. With all that being said, 9.7 out of 10 landing with all that consideration going on. So happy about that. Time to go run, and then we gotta eat, and then we gotta go to bed. So wish me luck. Well, pouring rain and thunderstorms weren't part of the beach run today on the plan, but the miles were non-negotiable, folks. You already know. Let's go. Well, getting poured on was definitely not part of the plan, but happy I got it done. Just over 5 miles. Running in the rain is very therapeutic. I feel like it's easier on my legs. I don't know, maybe it's just my wacky mentality of like getting it done because it's in the rain, but I don't know, I feel like a little kid when I'm doing it. So A+ run down to the beach and back. Chipotle was closing for dinner, so I had to hurry up. Grabbed myself a double chicken bowl. This thing is stacked. Oh yeah, baby, I deserve every little piece of that. Good morning, beautiful people from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 767's all loaded up. It'll be my leg to monitor. Captain's flying us down, or I should say up, to Indianapolis, Indiana for our first leg of the day. As you can tell, it's pretty cloudy here. All that probably rainstorm that poured on my head yesterday is now over our airport as we watch 737 land. But pretty quick flight. It's only like 2 hours, 10 minutes compared to my 6-hour flight the other day. This is nothing. And then we get a hotel in Indy, which I canceled because I realized I was wasting too much time going to the hotel. So we have sleep rooms in Indy. I'll just crash there, get my workout in, get some lunch. And then we're going to Newark to end the trip to the back end deadhead. So super stoked to be done tonight. Get home a day early, getting paid to do it, so nothing better. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Let's go. 85,000 pounds of cargo. Next stop, Indy. Just got to Indy in the ops center. Good flight, captain landed, and got about 4 hours on the ground here till our next flight. So the company actually gives us a hotel, but I canceled that hotel for 2 reasons. One is because we get money towards our like travel bank to use if we cancel and don't use the hotel, which is what I did. And then 2, been doing this flight to Indy with a 4-hour sit, and I realized I'm wasting too much time going back and forth rather than just changing, heading to the gym, getting my run in, getting food, whatever. And the sleep rooms here are pretty nice. So here's our new sleep rooms in Indianapolis. And the cool thing about these ones are, instead of using a sleep room key, we just use our badge. And it unlocks the fancy new rooms in the Indy Center. So they're definitely nicer as far as how they look. Pretty much the same though as far as what we get. Twin bed, pillows, sheets. We gotta make our own beds here in Indy though. Little phone, fan, chair. And this is supposed to be a rack to hang our clothes. Why it looks like this, I have no idea, but this is what it looks like. So yeah, Indy's definitely newer. I think this is like maybe a year old, 2 years old. I was based here for a little bit, so very familiar with the Indy flight ops. Everyone's really nice. Like I said, it's just newer, fresher. I mean, those beds in Memphis probably are over 50 years old, 20 years old. These are at least newer. So change out of the flight uniform, go get some lunch, and then we'll do a quick workout before we gotta get back at it. So there's literally nobody here since we're here during the day, but I'll show you guys a little bit of the Indianapolis Operations Center. So they just built it, like I was saying. There's some private bathrooms. There's also like communal ones. They basically just have these sleep rooms, so plenty of hallways. You go down the hallway and you'll just see rooms and rooms and rooms of beds like I just showed you guys. So there's just tons of these hallways on both sides, and elevator, extra bedding if you need some. Same thing, just hallways of sleep rooms. The reason no one's there right now is because we're daytime. So the daytime sort here in Indy isn't very large. So there's not many pilots here at all. Memphis would be a little bit more crowded, but not here in Indy. So each one of our hubs has a gym people are asking about. So here's the Indianapolis Fitness Center, water bottle refiller, and then a bunch of cardio machines, free weights over there, some more machines, little cubbies for your storage, treadmills, and everything's brand new. Like I said, this place has only been open for, I think, like a year, maybe coming up on 2 years. I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun, but everything's really, really nice. This will come later after I go get some lunch. They got this mindset is everything painted on the wall. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe we get a petition to have it changed to it's non-negotiable. I think that would be sweet. The ops has got some pretty cool artwork, bridging the world. We got Memphis, Cologne, Indianapolis, Osaka, Anchorage, and Paris. We finally made it to the last flight leg of the trip. We're in Indianapolis. Don't mind the hair, the wind is rocking here right now. And you can probably see there are a lot of thunderstorms around us. I got crushed at lunch from the rain, but at least it's not raining on the walk around. That is the most important thing. We got one leg, it's a short one. Tailwind pushing us to Newark. It'll be my leg flying into the home airport. So you know we're gonna push it to the limit, extra fast to get home. Safety, of course. Come on, people, you already know that. And then once we land in Newark, the flying portion of the trip is done. So like I said, 1 hour, 25 minutes. Some storms, we're gonna be dipping and dodging and ducking on the way out of Indy. Excited to get done, excited to get out of here. Let's go do it. All right, guys, we got a special look. For those of you who don't know, There is no reverse button in the airplane. They get pushed back with these giant tugs that hook up. And we got my man Jonathan here. Jonathan, wave to the people, and he's gonna give us a special tour of the tug.
The view here is completely different than what people normally think of. And when we tell the pilots to release the brakes, we are actually in command of the aircraft because we can see everything. We can see where we're going to be pushing, any traffic that may be around us, and we also let the pilots know when it's safe for them to start engines. So on this particular pushback, we'll be dropping the cradle down, going up to the nose gear, scooping it, so the two cold plates will envelop the nose gear there.
Yep.
We have that bypass pin to keep the hydraulic pressure from turning that nose gear, because there's 3,000 psi to those two hydraulic rams in there. If the hydraulic pressure goes to those steering, when we're torquing this pushback around, you'll break that nose gear. So what we do is once it's compressed, we lift it off the ground. Now that tire isn't scrubbing, and we're able to steer this much like a big forklift. So it lifts it up. Our two steering wheels are in the back, our two drive wheels are in the front, and then it's just a matter of aiming that antenna back there where we want it.
Very cool.
So
very cool. 767, are you qualified to push back the 777 and the MD-11s as well?
We can only push back up to 300 tons, which is 660,000 pounds for the MD-11 fully loaded.
Okay.
We are not at this time qualified to push 777s.
Okay, but MD-11s, 757, 767, and 10.
I've also pushed A310s, A300s, and DC-10s.
Very cool. What's your favorite one to push?
DC-10.
DC-10. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, we appreciate it. Thank you for all your hard work, everything you do. All right, folks, that's how you push back the 767. You heard it here. Inside source. Let's go to Newark. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we made it to Newark. I'm out on the road trying to catch a ride. So if you see me in Newark today, pick me up, drive me back to NYC. But that ends the trip. Good flight, quick, easy tailwinds pushing us. And then as you probably saw in the ATIS, I tried showing you guys the wind here in Newark. 270 at like 15, gust 25. So pretty gusty winds, but you know the world's okay as pilot is gonna get it done. So crosswind landing in the 2-2 left. Not my best, not my worst. We'll give it a 7.4 out of 10 to finish the trip. But that was the last flying leg of the trip. The captain's now catching a jump seat home. He lives in Memphis, and there's a deadhead for us tomorrow and with a hotel and everything, but I already canceled that, and we'll bank that money and use that travel money for this Uber ride back into the city. So as always, I hope you'll enjoy the inside scoop there of the tug. I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to Jonathan for that. That was awesome. And yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about aviation. I get back to all of them. Apologies if you sent me one in the last month. My settings were messed up, but it's all fixed now, so I'll definitely see it and get back to you. And shoot me a comment on what you want to see next. So until next time, fly safe, and I'll see you.